Yeah, so I had this bike from Martin's family that they gave me for a ridiculously cheap price, and that was awesome because it was another way that I could like get around the city, and it's a different feel. Like obviously when you're walking, it's one thing. When you're running, it's a different thing. Although the way I run, I don't really even take it in. I'm just kind of like madman, going too fast for my fitness level. Rollerblading, you definitely get a feel of the city in like a gorgeous way, just moving. Other than if you crash, like I was telling you. But the bike, there's like a different feel to that as well, and it feels really cool. But the coolest thing with the bike was we're still in summer here, and I decided I was going to take it up to Chascomus to ride around the lake. Chascomus is like at the end of one of the train lines, going very, very, very far from Buenos Aires, probably 60 kilometers or so from Buenos Aires. You have to take like two trains to get there, the long distance trains, and you can put your bikes on the trains. So towards the end of the summer, I decided to do that, and that was like super cool. I had to ride my bike from my apartment down to the train station, and get on the train, then catch another train. And then when I got off the train in Chascomús, it was like a 38-kilometer loop from the train down to the lake, around the lake and back to the thing. And it was gorgeous, man. It was a gorgeous summer day, just like super hot. And whenever I had that bike, I'd always bring the bike pump with it because one of the tires like had a slow leak. It probably wouldn't have even affected me like for a day, but I was just kind of paranoid. So I had the bike pump. And as I was going around the lake, it was really hot, and I decided to actually try to get down to the lake off of the road on the back side of the lake where there really isn't anything. So I took this little trail. There's like two dudes there, and they have a motorbike, and they asked me if like I had a bike pump, and I was like, yeah, but like a bike pump, not like a motorbike pump. They're like, no, no, no. One of our tires is screwed. Can we see if it works? And I was like, I don't think it will, but sure, let's try it out. And sure enough, like I don't know what the hell was wrong with their tire, but they patched something up, and then I think they just had to patch it. They had to patch the motorbike tire, and then they could use my bike pump with some kind of attachment to like pump it back up. So I helped those two out, which was cool because I don't like to just be taking advantage of the glories and greatness of Argentina without giving back a little bit. But well, I mean, it always feels good to help out, right? So that was cool. And then I kept going, and literally by the time I got back to the side closer to the city, I was so fried. I think I couldn't even ride the last 500, 600 meters. I just was like gonna pass out. So hot, so humid, and so I was out of it. I've got a picture here of me waiting for the train to come back to town from Chascomús. Just so you can see how I'm just like wiped right out. But a gorgeous spot out there, Chascomús. Really cool. And then earlier in the summer, I'd also taken the long distance trains in the other direction to Zarate. And Zarate is like even further than Campana, which I talked about, that had to do the car thing. And in Zarate, you got to take two trains, and then you arrive in Zarate and you got to walk, and it's like literally like 25 kilometers of walking to get through the city, over the bridge, and to the area I was looking to get to. Now, the area I was looking to get to, I became aware of it during those trips where I had to drive to Uruguay with the car. There's a big, huge bridge, actually two big bridges that you go over on this way. One of them is at the other side of Zarate. And always when I was driving over this bridge, I would see this huge abandoned ship that was like, they have the river Paraná, but they have this big giant ship that's like 200 meters offshore that's just like dying and decaying, kind of like Padova mode. Massive ship. And I was like, I'd love to go check that ship out just because it's so weird. It's like that sort of like fascination with Padova vibe, like abandoned things that were like once functional that are now just like decaying, but weird and interesting. So I decided to do this, and I walked all the way over there to the ship, and like you can see me here walking over the bridge. It's like super high and awesome views, super gorgeous day again. Thank God, Argentina is so gorgeous in the summer. So gorgeous most of the time. Very, very sunny. When they do get rains, the rains are intense, but in general, very sunny place. So yeah, like 25K loop, and like, so then I come off the bridge, and I end up at the boat, and right by the boat, they've got an artificial water skiing loop with this like cable thing. It's really weird. And I went in the boat. The boat was like totally abandoned, like literally like zombie apocalypse end of the world. There was a guy cooking hamburgers on the front of the boat, I guess like for the water skiers or something like that. He said the only thing you have to worry about is the wasps, because there was wasps all in there. I got some video inside the boat, and yeah, man, like horror movie mode #1, but like so weird. Like they haven't touched it in like 15 years or whatever. Just when it got crashed or whatever happened to it, it's just like left. Like literally people's beds and stuff in the cabins and stuff. It's just crazy. Anyway, so then I kept walking, and there's actually a campsite there in Las Tejas, and they got a beach where people can swim. That's super cool. People don't really swim in Buenos Aires because the big river there, the River Plate, it's polluted near the city. But this river, Paraná, I wasn't sure if it was clean or not, but people were swimming in it, so that was cool. There's also another abandoned boat that they converted to a bar. It's got a water slide, some ostriches. I hate ostriches. I hate killer big birds. Like, I mean, they were behind a fence. Nothing's going to happen, but I don't like them. They're stupid random stuff. So I headed back, and that was an amazing day as well. But then, so the last one I'll talk about here, more a shorter loop. in Buenos Aires I had talked about the ecological reserve as the primary green space, but in the conurbano in the suburbs, the biggest green space you can see if you look at all of Buenos Aires, like the area in the suburbs, is this place called Campo de Mayo, a camp of May, I guess you would say in English. And it's a military base, but it's all green. And in the dictatorship in Argentina in the 70s and 80s, I guess it was one of the prime spots where people were tortured. Basically, the dictatorship, what they would do is anyone who was a dissident or was left-wing or was anything that was against the dictatorship, artists, they would just capture people. A lot of people between the ages of 14 and like 25, and these people would just disappear. And like a lot of times they just killed them and dumped them into the river. But like moms had no idea what happened to their children, like their teenagers and stuff like this. And yeah, it was super dark stuff. They would also torture them. It was a crazy moment, whatever. Right? So a lot of the tortures went down at Campo de Mayo. However, that had nothing to do with my interest in the place. All I was like, this massive green space, I want to go check it out. So I took the train from the city. There's two trains, one that goes out, one comes back. Well, you can go either way, but I took a train from the city one day about 3 or 4 o'clock. I got there, and it was like sunset hours, and I walked right through the park, and man, it was like, no one's there. And it was the right time of year, the grass had been cut, no mosquitoes, and oh my god, like, yeah, I just felt like I could be anywhere on the planet. I couldn't see any buildings, and I just saw like fields and trees and nature, and I was just like, I could be in the States right now. What I was doing when I was camping there, I could be anywhere. What is this really, really interesting space I was getting into? And then you come out the other side, and like a soldier had to let me out the other side of the gate, and I got on a different train that I'd never been on before. Never been on the train that I took to get there, never been on the train I took to get back. And that train had a very weird vibe. Like getting on that train, it was like much more open space. It's weird. That train, the way it came into the city, it like kind of lifts up, and you kind of see the big buildings coming as you come into the city. And I just felt like I'd never seen the city from this angle. I never felt, my head was like gone into another world. It was like too much stimulus, too much different outside my map of Buenos Aires city. And it was great. Like I came in the city feeling like I was in a completely new city. That was amazing. That was one of the best days in Buenos Aires, just like in terms of like gorgeous weather, being in nature, and then just like my mind almost washed with my perception of Buenos Aires at that point, coming back to the city. It was intense. I mean, that's some of the summer exploration that I had been doing.